there's a chainsaw fetish mania right now. I blame Eminem, to be honest. Okay, where you are, if you're an office worker and you're not keeping track of what Elon Musk is doing with the Department of Government Efficiency, you are high. And on paper, it seems like putting Elon Musk in this position has been a genius move. And when you go and think about some of the cuts that he did in Twitter as well, you know, he acquired Twitter, laid off so much staff to the point where everyone was thinking, yep, the systems aren't going to work. Especially some of my software engineering pals, a lot of them were like, yeah, there's going to be so many problems from these quick firing decisions that Elon Musk seemed to make when he came into the organization, that it was almost predictable that it was going to be doomed. And guess what? It still works. Recently, Elon Musk sent an email saying the following. It was, "What did you do last week? Please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments." And then he set a deadline of the following Monday at 11:59 Eastern Time. This has caused such a rupture amongst government employees. A lot of their kind of unions or advisors, I don't know whether they're union or advisors, don't answer it. Of conservative news media seems to be saying, well, why don't you just answer it? If you're working and you're doing your job, surely you could just quickly fire that email over and bish bash bosh, it's all done. Whilst others are saying, well, if you answer this, you are making yourself liable to being part of those cuts, because the light is now shining on you, and it's obvious that those that don't answer it, the email that is, in the right fashion, are probably going to be within the firing line immediately. If we think about where Musk comes from, which is predominantly the technology sector, or companies that are completely private, driven by profits, and just keep costs down, keep innovation high, keeps profits high as well, regardless of the nuances of what people do, etc., etc. All of the decisions are very much numbers driven, right? And you'd think that those principles would be perfect for everything. Not always the case. So let's look at what the technology sector was doing last year. So in 2024, tech companies around the world laid off at least 280,000 employees, right? Over half of these layoffs, which is 157,000 layoffs, were announced in US companies. And this wasn't just 2024. Same thing happened in 2023, and it just seems to get worse and worse and worse. First of all, you had Milei, the president of Argentina, that kind of brought out the chainsaw and started saying, oh yeah, afuera, let's cut this department out, let's cut out the arts, let's cut out, I don't know, it seems like there was like 100 departments. Almost like Elon Musk, prior to Trump winning, was really getting pally. And it seems like they're now bringing that chainsaw effect to America.
Javier Milei met Elon Musk and gave him a special gift.
And if we look at the effect that happened in the tech sector, most of these companies, they don't have originality. When I say originality, is if one does it, the other one's going to do it, then the other one's going to do it, and the other one's going to do it. Yeah, there's going to be a couple here and there that might prop up and kind of become contrarians and say, no, I'm not doing that, because we have our own culture. And you know what? I tilt my hat off to them. Example, Spotify. Whilst everyone's saying, oh, yeah, get back in the office, Spotify's like, no, we've been successful. We like our employees. We're not going to break something that has been working for us for such a long time. And our employees aren't kids. So you know what? Thumbs up to Spotify for at least having their own original stance. But I've received this email so many times, it's ridiculous. And it always comes before, after a CEO or a top kind of director has had his arse handed to him, right? He's asking for 5 bullet points. CC and the manager. The manager doesn't know what's going on most of the time. It's just going to be like, oh, okay, well, it sounds like you're really busy, and that's it. And do you know what they do? They'll do this. This has happened to me in my career many times. They'll do this for about 3 weeks back to back. And let's just say they have an employee workforce of like 20 people. That's 20 emails with an essay in them that they have to read all in one go. By the 3rd week, no one's reading them. In about 2 months' time, someone says, oh, I'm sorry, we'll cancel that activity. And then it just disappears. Now, apparently, Elon Musk is going to use AI to review these emails. How the hell will AI be able to determine whether those tasks are even important to the government agency? AI isn't that sophisticated right now. Oh no, yeah, Elon Musk has the best AI in the world. It's going to be able to determine, get the hell out of here, right? The same AI, literally the other day, translated Trump as racist. Now, we've got bum-licking Keir Starmer. Again, we remember before, I was referring to the fact that a lot of these companies don't even have their own strategy. They're so fickle, they just follow each other. I'm saying he's a bum-licker because I know that he's just copying what other people are doing. Because he's desperate. And it's just like, what a lack of personality. What a lack of personality. Let's see what this has to say, what this idiot has to say.
We want to strike a new partnership. We share the view that our best days lie ahead. And, taking out a chainsaw isn't quite my style. But we are stripping away red tape and bureaucracy.
Here we have bum-licking Keir Starmer saying that he too has something in common with Elon Musk. Okay, I wouldn't do it with a chainsaw because apparently chainsaws don't make him hard, right? But I too, I'm on a mission to cut red tape. Come on, Keir Starmer, you don't even know your ass from your elbow, right? So that's the warning sign. It's coming to the UK. It's already been in the UK within the private sector, but the minute the government starts doing it, everyone else is going to do it too. Tech companies, they make these quick decisions without thinking, because they've gone to a boardroom, like I said before, and someone has handed them their ass on a plate, and they just want to go, yes, master, look what I've done, master, the next time, right? So that they can get the confidence of the board and okay, cool, well, they're cutting costs, they've listened to us, and they can buy themselves some more time. There isn't actually real leadership behind this or real strategy. And that's kind of what I believe Elon Musk is doing. Why do I know that? Well, let's look at 3 of the blunders that have happened in the last month. First of all, it turns out that the Gaza discovery, the Gaza condom scandal, well, it wasn't Palestine, was it? It was Gaza in Mozambique. So apparently the US was sending aid in the form of condoms to stop the spread of AIDS in Mozambique. Now, some people will be like, well, why? Well, yeah, okay. It's still sending money abroad and all this type of stuff. Well, guess what? I think everyone's forgetting that the United States has been branding itself as a global leader, setting the trends, telling everyone what to do. They're a globalized nation. That's what they do. They export their culture, and that's how they're able to also control the world. It's a culture. It's the cultural impact that they have. They give these grants out because they wanted to continue having IOUs with different countries so that they could be backed. It seems like now they don't give a damn about this, and that's fine. It's fine to have a strategy change, but don't act like it's corruption.
Mr. Musk, you said on X that an example of the fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact-check this, it apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas, actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there. Yeah. And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct? So we're
not going to make sure that his statements are correct, because he's like, I said it before, I've seen this in tech many times. It's like those excitable CEOs that they just want to show the board results as quickly as possible, and they don't think their decisions through. Why? Because they don't have to. It's their company. It's a private company. They're going out there. They're trying to be as profitable as quickly as possible, right? And they have the license to kill. They can come in, make a decision. I've seen people get fired because apparently they don't do anything. Turns out they're actually very important. And they're actually very important to a big, massive customer account. And then they're like, oh, what have we done? That person had the key information that we needed to keep business running. But do we really want that in our government? I don't know. Maybe the answer is yes. Maybe the answer is no. But we need to understand that those are the mechanics of what's happening, and it's coming to a workplace near us very soon. So that's blunder number one. Blunder number two. Apparently, he went out there. So in the last 2 days, they've been complaining that people that are like 150 years plus, 200 years plus, have been receiving payments, social security payments, and that this is obvious fraud. What's the real reason? Okay, so it turns out that a lot of these systems are, and shout out to my IT friends because they're the ones that explain this to me. It turns out that a lot of these systems have been built with a programming language called COBOL. That's C-O-B-O-L. Now let me tell you something about COBOL. As someone who has sold technology systems specifically trying to secure programming languages, securing a COBOL system, you're better off trying to secure something that's written in hieroglyphics. The language is super duper old, and it was literally developed in the 1950s. So imagine the type of computers that were used to develop this. And a lot of our critical infrastructure systems still run on COBOL. Why is that? Well, because a lot of these systems need to continue running whilst we're building the new one, the new system. So you can't just rip it out and replace it with a new one, because that actually works. And it has a lot of old information, and migrating information from that system into a new system is a very, very complex thing. And it's almost like you're scared to press the green button to move it over. So this COBOL system, it has a lack of standardized ways to store and work with dates. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. But this is what I want to tell you. Apparently, if you don't have a date on something and you want to log in a new form, so for whatever reason, it might be that there's a clerical error, you haven't put the date in. So you think about all these workers getting these manual forms and then putting them into this COBOL system that's probably has green writing, God knows, right? And for whatever reason, you missed the date field, or you've got a form that doesn't have the date, or some people might just insert it anyway and go, oh, I know the person's still young, so I'll just put it in there without a birth date. These things happen, right? Especially when you have humans running systems. It will default to what COBOL believes is the beginning of time. And it turns out that according to something called the ISO 8601 standard, the beginning of time starts on the 20th of May, 1875. So all these forms without dates, due to clerical errors, etc., are going to automatically start registering these individuals as pretty much vampires. Which is why you're getting these big headlines saying, oh, there's been people that's been getting paid, for 200 years, 150 years, and obviously this money's being rerouted to other accounts. Nah. In 2011, there was a Social Security Inspector general analysis that was done, and what it was saying was it was looking at this particular abnormality that I've just highlighted, and the system is built in a way where if you die and a statement of death has been issued by funeral directors, that shuts everything down. So automatically you don't get paid. So out of those 18.9 million people that were given a birthday that was before around 1920 or earlier, only 44,000 records were still receiving benefits. Now, if you think about that, 18.9 million, only 44,000. 44,000 clerical errors. Is that possible? Yes. Does it necessarily make this crazy corruption? I don't think so. Right? And then, if we think about it, since 2015 as well, what they did was the SSA put automated systems in place to ensure that any payment that was older than 115 years was automatically blocked. So there's no vampires in the security system. So yeah, shout out to my IT friends for clarifying that out. But day by day, it's only been a month, right? If we think about the other scandal, Millet, apparently he endorsed a cryptocurrency coin that was going to help the Argentinian economy. And it turns out that it was just another meme coin, and people got swindled out of $100 million plus. And now they're talking about running an impeachment on him.
Argentina's president is under investigation. Last Friday, he posted the name of a virtual coin known as Libra. The price of the coin rocketed after Milei's post. Then he deleted it and it crashed. More than 100 complaints have been made in local courts. Claudio Lozano says the president was involved in a fraud.
So again, just quick decisions. This is what you get when you have a lack of regulation. Now, I think too much regulation, too many rules does hinder innovation, and it hinders your ability to actually make a difference. Yes, wastage does need to be reduced, but some of this, like take a little bit of time before you start doing it, just to find out what's underneath the hood. And here we have Milei probably fired one of the guys that could have told him, mate, this one's a risky one. Just slow your horses. Probably someone in the Department of Communications that he's fired already with his beautiful chainsaw, right? That could have saved him from this blunder. They're going to make all these decisions, hothead decisions, and it's going to bury them. And then we're going to have to rethink who we bring into power, and companies are going to do it too. They're going to make loads of losses because they're just not thinking these decisions through, etc. So watch out. Keep your eye on this behavior because it's coming to a workplace near you. Protect your neck. Answer the emails. Figure out what your manager is being compensated on and what he has to actually present in his meetings. Align your stuff as closely as possible to that person. Record things properly. Evidence what you're doing. Because that's the way you survive in the private sector. And obviously, provide value. Of course, provide value. If you do find yourself scratching your ass for a whole day, no, the Grim Reaper with his chainsaw's coming for you.